Okay, so let's think about this question. Basically, you want to draw the graph and figure out the maximum value of this function f of x. To do the first question, you have to find the axis of symmetry. The formula is you take the quadratic formula, negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. You erase this annoying part, and what you get is the formula for the axis of symmetry, right? And in our case, what is b? B is 12, negative 12, over twice of what's a? Negative 3. So this is negative 12 over negative 6, which is positive 2. Okay? And what you write down shouldn't be just 2. You should really write down x equals to 2, because axis of symmetry is a vertical line. Vertical line equation is always x equal to a number. So you should really write down x equals to 2. Now find the vertex form. How do you find the vertex form? You see, the vertex is right on the axis of symmetry. So what is the x coordinate of the vertex? 2. If you know the x coordinate, how do you get the y coordinate? You plug in the value and you get the y value. So you take the y, you get the y value by plugging in 2 that we just figured out here. So that goes into this function, and you get 12 times 2 plus 1. Let's see, that's negative 12 times, that's 13. Okay, so I did this really fast, but you'll be able to find it. Is that right? You got 13?
Yeah.
All right, good. So the vertex, so what is the vertex? This gives you the vertex as 2 comma 13. That's the vertex. Now how do you write down the vertex form? Vertex form is y equals to a times x minus h squared plus k, right? With a being same as this a, that doesn't change. Negative 3 is negative 3. That doesn't change. So it's negative 3. And h comma k is your vertex. 2 comma 13. H is 2, k is 13. So what do? X minus 2 squared plus 13. All right? Okay, so that's the answer to part B. Now find intercepts. So that's part B. C. The easier one is the y-intercept, right? What's the y-intercept? Y-intercept is C. If you plug in 0, you get y value as 1. So y-intercept is 0 comma 1. The x-intercept, well, that's something that you can't factor. Therefore, you need to use the quadratic formula. So let's actually use the quadratic formula. X equals to negative 12 plus minus square root of 12 squared minus 4 times a, which is negative 3, times c, which is 1, all over twice of negative 3. And that's equal to, oh, no, I need more space. I'll just.
Have you found the y-intercept?
Yeah, y-intercept is, you plug in x equal to 0 to get the y-intercept. I got 1 as the y-intercept.
How'd you do so fast?
If you plug in 0, 0, that's just 0, so it's just 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. Now, for the x-intercept, you have to calculate this thing, which is x equals to negative 12 plus minus 12 squared is 144. 4 times 3, that's plus 12, is because negative times negative is positive. So 144 plus 12 is 156. Divided by 2 times negative 3, that's negative 6.
Why'd you plug it into the quadratic formula?
Oh, because I'm using the quadratic formula because it's y equals to this, and to get the x-intercept, you have to set y at 0. So you end up with the equation 0 equals to this.
Okay.
But how do you solve that? If you can't factor, the only other option is quadratic formula. So you have to use the quadratic formula.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so we have this, and then you can share the love. Share the love. Oh, this doesn't work. Share the love, like that, right? And then negative 12 divided by 6 is 2, plus minus, this annoying thing. Well, if you have negative, plus minus, because you're doing both plus and minus, negative doesn't matter. So it's just square root of 156 over 6. That one you can factor 4 out. I wonder what that is. If you factor, it's 4 156 divided by 4 is 3. 36 is 4 times 39. Okay, so 156 is 4 times 39, and 4 comes outside the square root as 2. 39 over 6. And the answer for the x-intercept is therefore, when you reduce 2 and 6, what's that? 1 and 3. So the x-intercepts are 0, 1, and also it will be 2 plus minus 3 times square root of 39 over 3, 0. Those are the intercepts, whatever that is. Okay, now we have to draw the graph. Y equals to negative 3, x minus 2 squared plus 13. Okay. Now let's draw the graph. Two comma 13. So let's say this is 2, that's 13. Here's the vertex. And then the y-intercept is all the way down here. It's 1. So it's like this. And I don't know what these values are, but these are called 2 plus square root of 39 over 3. And this one is 2 minus square root of 39 over 3. Okay. So that's the graph. And finally, part E. What's the maximum value of f? If you have this graph, we're talking about value of a function. Is the value of the function the output of a function or the input of a function? Huh? The output of the function, right? What's the output of the function that's the highest? 13, right? Of course. So the answer to E is value of 13 when x is 2. You might just add this just to support your argument. When x is equal to 2, you get this value of 13. And in other words, if you want to find the maximum value of a function, you're really trying to find the vertex. That's what it is.